Hello and welcome to our broadcast here. It's Alena Wilson with Estimate Mastery, and I've got William on. And William is going to talk everything solar. So, this isn't going to be like a normal podcast because we are broadcasting this live over on Facebook and YouTube. So, we're going to do a little bit more banter here at the beginning while some folks show up so they can watch live and ask questions live. So, we're going to give it a little bit of time here, William, for everybody to get joined in. But let's take a temperature check. What's going on in the solar industry right now? Are you guys how's it feeling out there?
Man, solar's been great. We've enjoyed it. The constant, like with the new tax credits and expansions. Everyone's kind of like it was hidden really in the south, and
Mhm.
now like we're getting calls more in the northeast and the north. I think solar is expanding as rapid as it ever has or ever could be.
Interesting,
We're enjoying
interesting.
it quite a bit.
Is that a national tax credit that you see, or does the local states do anything about it?
So there is a big national one that blankets, but some of the states have their own tax incentives. Not all of them have adopted it yet, but
Interesting.
quite a few of the big ones and a lot of big roofing areas. They've definitely picked it up, and it's been really beneficial.
Interesting, interesting. Cool. Okay. Yeah, we got some folks joining now. Again, my name is Alena Wilson with Estimate Mastery. I help contractors with Exactimate and supplementing and everything on the insurance side. William is here with us, and he is everything solar and roofing as well. He's has a lot of background in both, so huge resource we have with us as a guest today. William, will you go ahead and tell the folks all about you, your company, and what's going on over there?
Yeah, so I'm third generation in home improvement. I started out as an applicator. I did siding and windows, and really kind of took off. Roofing grabbed a hold of me in like 2013, and I've worked kind of every part of it. I've done some sales, project management, operational. I've sat in several executive seats, and really in the last 4 or 5 years of my career, I started working with like solar companies because they had general interest in roofing, and I would be a part of like what helps them almost start their roofing companies within their solar companies. And I was always intrigued because roofing was almost I wouldn't say like it was looked at uniquely because you know what are these, we need the roof to put the solar on it. And that's what really kind of drove Pro Terra. So we after catching that niche, I partnered with two fantastic individuals, and we formed Pro Terra in June of last year.
Oh, okay.
And so really, as we like that, we joke about it, we call it the Terra companies, because Pro Terra, though we is the parent company, there is still Build Terra, which is a roofing company that we own, and then Eco Terra that does home efficiency, and that we kind of stand on all three boundaries as the industries morph.
Awesome.
It's been great.
Yeah, that's amazing. So why we're here today is to talk all about why should a roofer care about solar and kind of what's going on. There's some myths I think floating around in the industry. So could you kind of start with why should a roofer care? I mean, you had some reservations in the beginning you were talking about.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it is, I think both sides kind of look at each other like, we're this entity that's almost encroaching on each other. Like, who are these guys putting solar panels to the brand new roof I put on, and why are these roofers waiving warranties? I think it really looks. We all look at each other in almost a negative light because I did it too when I didn't
Mhm.
understand the solar side. I mean, we as a roofer, lifetime warranties, workmanship, we stand on that. But there is a reality that I had to realize, and there was no stopping the solar industry. It was expanding at a rapid rate, from where I didn't even know about it, 6, 7 years ago. Not beyond what maybe you would see on a random Google search or something, to where now solar is one of the fastest growing industries in the entire country. You guys see it, you're marketed towards it, and where does it go? Most of it is rooftop. Put it right up top with you. And so I think a big, like, I wouldn't say misconception, but that a lot of people have is like, hey, I don't understand that side or this side, and it does damage to the roof or this or that. Well, the reality for us is, if we can't beat them, join them. And what I realized, that's how profitable solar was, and really how it scaled my roofing sales. It was a huge benefit for us. I know for a lot of us, initially, if I could talk through some of the big points that I saw. success just on the roofing side, just for Build Terra, was it unveiled a retail model for us. See, like most roofers, I was an insurance contractor. Like I would, hey, I got a hailstorm, and I was always stuck in that, minutia. Hey, do the inspections, this and that. I didn't really have a retail model. It wasn't. I could argue and say if you did 5-10 retail jobs a year, you were living high on the hog. That was a big deal. Most of my colleagues, my friends, my mentors were all insurance contractors. They worked hailstorms. So changing this, I don't think I've done an insurance job in, I don't even know. 2 years. My whole model it's done a complete 180. Where it's unveiled a retail model inside our company, and as not just for roofing but for solar, and that's a huge benefit. As you guys are aware, anything that you can generate business from is huge. The second thing was, like for me, was warranties. That's always my first panic. When even when I would go help solar companies, whether it was like them beating up the shingles, walking in 150-degree temperatures, stepping on them, crushing them, and damaging the warranty. Why wouldn't I want to be a part of something that was a part of both sides? That I knew enough about roofing, I could defend it. I could be on the roofs. I could look at it and be like, hey, don't do this, don't walk on this, it's too hot, wear this, step in the valley. And I could still implement solar because they're punching holes through the roof. I needed to know why and how, as my fear was, the customer was going to hold me to the fire. The roof's leaking. Who's going to get the call? The roofer.
You are.
That's our mentality. Mm-hmm. And instead, learning solar and just at the beginning, it was, hey, I need to figure out how that is so that I could combat it. It was like, oh, wow, I can utilize this to my advantage. Why wouldn't I want to be the guy that puts that roof on and then puts the solar system on? Because I'm warranting the roof anyway. I might as well warranty the system and that. So warranties was was the second biggest thing. The third thing that I'd really tell you guys to grab away with was profitability. Adding solar to the roofing Rolodex was ludicrous to our profitability. It was crucial. So being able to combo our deals, especially with like every roof that we sell, normally I'd say like 95% of the time, 90% of the time has a solar system attached. You're not talking here, guys, like $2,000-$3,000. You're talking, $20,000 to $60,000, a whole nother trade that you've added on top of that you're already warranting the roof anyway. You're already guaranteeing its protection. And my mindset on it was, somebody's going to probably try to put solar on that. Might as well be me. So those were the three biggest things as a roofer that really generated my initial interest in tackling solar as a whole.
Interesting. And so just to recap, you started as a roofer. You saw, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to warrant something with some other company putting holes in my roof that I just put on brand new. Right. And so then what kind of made that mindset shift? Like, was that really the pivotal point to be like, I want to look at how all this works? Like, can you kind of walk through that a little bit?
Yeah. So, it wasn't just fear. Most of us are entrepreneurs or preparing to be, or sales reps for another company. And we're in this industry, one, maybe because we love it. There's parts of heritage to that, but we also like a little bit of money here. And I saw these solar companies come out of nowhere and go boom and explode. And next thing, there's trucks driving around. These companies were huge. And I was like, how did that happen? And so there was a lot of interest in figuring that out and helping these companies like build those roofing divisions. It became pretty apparent that solar was a very profitable industry. And the reality is they didn't understand a lot of the roofers, and the roofers didn't understand the solar guys. I was one of them. It was a myth. It was a scam. I've said everything that you guys could possibly imagine. Maybe even worse. So, and then I realized that the profitability side of that was something that I wanted to tackle. And it was already going on something I felt a lot of comfort in, was the roof. I knew in my career that I'd lived, for lack of a better, what's the roof's purpose? To stop water, the elements. I knew that was my whole goal, my career. Everything that I've ever done was to stop water How could I not figure out how to put a solar system on that was going to do what it needed to do, but also not leak?
Yeah.
So that was the easiest part for me. Some of the solar companies haven't figured that out yet.
Yep. And I think it's a misnomer too for roofers that you're already on the roof, you're already finding damage. The insurance is going to pay for that part of it. And then you're talking about this retail model where you finance not only the solar, but just whatever you're charging for the roof as a whole. And then, whatever insurance pays the homeowner policyholder, great. But at the end of the day, they're financing it because that solar is involved. It doesn't seem like such a big ask. I think if it's roof only and you're trying to do the retail model, it's a little bit harder on us because it's like, oh, you don't care, but when you're wrapping in, but we're doing the solar upgrade, therefore we're financing, and then it's just like a wash. Am I getting that right?
And I think too, like how many roofs have we been on that person probably should have called a hail claim in 10, 15 years ago. And it's beyond hail claimed now. They need a roof. It's been denied by the carrier. Something has happened that's not going to be fightable. And now you're like, well, I can go give them a bid, but let's be honest. How many homeowners have we sat with? I need 15 grand for the roof. Not too many people are like, sure, here you go. They have to think. They want to go get 4 quotes. They want to do this.
Right.
Right, exactly. So now it's like, hold on. Have you ever thought about solar? You want to save some money. And not only that, I can combo it in. You'll save money. It's comboed in a loan and it's a monthly payment. You got a roof and an energy saving solar system for a payment that you are already pretty much paying because you like your computer, right? You like your TV and your AC. You're going to pay that electricity bill, whether solar's on your house or not. That's a payment you're going to pay. None of us want to live in a tent, not normally. So it creates that mindset to it. It's not just, oh, hey, let me figure out a way to just finance 10 grand for this roof. It's giving a whole new source of why they should, and that as they pay it off, because they will, now they have a system that's involved in it. And you got to do the roof. You still got what you wanted. How crazy is that?
Pretty crazy. I like it. That's why we're talking today. So how hard is the learning curve to get into solar? I think that's another thing that daunts people. It seems really maybe technical or, just like, that seems difficult. Can you talk through kind of the learning curve on this?
Yeah. So no lie, but I'd argue if we were talking like how hard is it the learning curve for roofing? It's hard too. So yes, guys, it takes talent. The codes change. The fire codes are different. Each state, each city, each utility has different things. The best part about really what we're doing now as a company versus kind of what I did, which was different, is cutting out some of that learning curve. So yes, I would encourage you to go get training and find the right mentors. No different than you guys did for roofing, whether that was a father, a friend, a coach. But the best part for solar and what we do is we're a national EPC. We're a national installer. We take away a lot of what you need to know in regards to implementing solar, and we take care of it on the back end. And I think hopefully by the end of August, we're launching a full training course, and it'll teach you guys how to sell it, how to understand it, everything you guys need to know. If you said, hey, I want to start putting solar in my roofing business, that training course is going to come out because we have formed a fantastic partnership with Becca Switzer and Roof Sales Mastery. And through a great individualized contract between each other, we're pushing out solar sales mastery. And all the individuals that were helped in Roof Sales Mastery will now have an opportunity to work through solar sales mastery and to learn how to sell solar and add it to their business without let me find a master electrician and learn how to do electrical. We've taken that part out of it while still letting you remain as profitable as you need to be. And that's cool.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you naturally led into that. I was going to kind of see.
I'm excited. It makes me giddy. We've been working on it for 6, 7, 8 months. It's been a long time, a lot of energy, a lot of bodies. And let me tell you, it's going to be something that hasn't been seen before. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. And we're not here just to like pump up a product or anything. I want you to tell them how profitable it is with solar. Run through those numbers, just a quick, roundabout way of showing. Like for me, when I say you start using it, Xactimate in your company, you can usually increase your profits by 25% on the low end. That's just kind of my generic statement because I've ran the numbers thousands of times with thousands of contractors. So I know that you probably know your numbers as well. And so can you kind of tell the folks like why should we be even, not only does it help with like that financing aspect, what's the bottom line, William? Tell the folks.
So, and this is the part that took me longer to realize. If we could argue the average size, of a shingle roof, and let's just say in the Midwest, we could say it's between 20 and 30 squares, right?
Right.
Let's just say that's an average. Let's just say 25 squares. One 25 square roof in regards to profitability, if you just took an average, is it takes three of those to equal one solar job.
Oh,
three of them.
There you go.
So for us as a company, like just in regards to gross profit, if you just took that out, it is literally about 3 times the amount.
Wow.
That a roof brings in. It's amazing, and it's not even. There's limitations that are put on the solar industry of how much we can sell it for that the roofing industry doesn't even have. Like I've seen people quote $1,000 a square, and I've seen people buy it. Well, we can't even do that on our side. So that's still staying within regulation with utility companies. So then when I say, hey, I sold that 25 square roof and added solar to it, you almost sold 4 jobs in one.
There you go. That's the number. That's what I wanted to hear. Yep, that's pretty crazy. And just like with anything in life, learning something new, you have a little bit of a learning curve, but it's, it usually in our industry, it's steep at the beginning, but boy, does it flatten out. And then, you're just rinsing and repeating and doing the same thing over and over. And you become just a master at this kind of stuff.
Right.
If you're already selling something, that's on the roof, the shingles. It's just a natural outflow of what could happen for a business if you're looking to add something. It's like, why go sell 3 new jobs when that one job can take the place of those next 3 doors you'd have to knock, right?
And also it's important to notice that like it's weatherproof. So like I'm a Kansas guy, even though we operate in over 10 states. I live in Kansas. All of us partners live in Kansas. December, January, February, and March, it's snowy. I mean, that or it's cold, one or the other. And getting on a roof in the snow and ice is not possible. Mm-hmm. So we like to laugh and say, you got to make your money in 9 months, right? Colorado's just as bad, if not worse, right?
Minnesota, man.
Minnesota, the northern states. The best part for us is that we don't even really have to get on the roof. Like our solar sales reps have the ability, once you enter, you can still go in your house in January with 20 feet of snow on the roof. That'd be scary, but and sell a solar system. Now, yeah, there are site surveys and such that have to be done on the roof, but the cold weather isn't limiting your ability to install a shingle product because, oh, hey, don't install under 50 degrees or it explodes, for a lack of better words. We don't have that problem, not on solar. So we're installing systems like this last year. We installed December, January, February, March, in the snow. It worked out. Yeah. Do we have to sweep it? Sure. Are there safety regulations followed? Absolutely. But our sales reps were not limited to, hey, I couldn't get on the roof and inspect it to even sell you the roof. It was, no, I can still go in there and determine how much your electricity bill was and sell you a solar system. And so that not only that is if you are in those markets, if you're not privileged to be in a state like Florida, for lack of better words, and you are in Minnesota, it now gives you something, I don't want to say to do, but 3 months worth of adding. And here's the best part. If you do go and look at the roof and you slide it off and determine it's old, or maybe you have an internal process. We do. If a roof is over 10 years old, we don't like to put solar on it, even if the roof is fine, because it might not be fine in 2 or 3 years. And then it's still going to leak and they're still going to call me. So maybe you are in Minnesota and the roof. Hey, I got a 13-year-old roof. And now you're still selling them a roof without even looking at it. You still can combo it in because all the customer, best way, I know I'm going to pivot on you, but I'll never forget the first guy that taught me. And he goes, when you buy a car, William, what does the car salesman ask you? How much money can you afford a month? That the customers are in a similar mentality. Not everyone is worried about how do I come up with, you know, $30, $40, $50,000 for the car. It's, hey, I can make $300 a month or $500 a month. They get their roof in the same payment, and most of the time, we match that payment to the utility bill. So they don't even really feel it, because the utility bill now has gone down. So they're still paying a payment, but no different really than what they felt before. Not normally. That's pretty cool. And they got the roof. Like I said, you're still meeting your mentality. You're still the roofer that you dreamed to be. That was one thing I never wanted to lose, was where I came from.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really interesting. Lastly, I kind of want to talk about the tax credit aspect of that, if I can. That to me, I'm very ignorant on, and it's interesting. Is that something that could be complicated for a roofer, or is that more rely on the homeowner side of things?
It yes and no. So
okay.
Understanding the tax credit is going to be extremely important, and obviously the biggest thing that you can do. I treat it in the way that like my brain rationalizes with it. Is kind of like how you would do on the insurance side of things. You're not allowed to talk policy with the customers. So what I always like to encourage people is like, understand the tax credit, do your research on it. But we encourage, hey, we're not your accountant. Please talk to your accountant. That's going to be really big. And but the tax credit changes. It's a huge sales pitch too for everybody right now. Like right now it's 30%. But I've seen it, you know, we've seen it drop to 26, 24, it's been 28. It has to be revoted on, and that's going to be crucial. So understanding your tax credit, it is national. You can offer it with every solar loan. It is factored in, but it's how the individual wants to use it. I could walk you down like a really complicated rabbit hole with it. But what I will tell you guys is I'd encourage you as you guys want to get into solar to spend some time and learn how to really understand it. And just know that when you do figure it out, and you're going to, because it's instantly applied to the loans. But when you combo your jobs in, it applies to that too. It's pretty cool. So, but right now the 30% holds up, and I believe, as it changes, that gives you guys incentive points to talk about it. Like everybody talks about on the insurance, well, your insurance rates are going up anyway. Like you've heard that conversation, file the claim. Well, we utilize a similar concept on our side. That tax credit might not be 30%. It could jump to 35, but it could drop to 20. So don't miss it. Jump in, and that's going to be super crucial in that. And I know we're not going to do like this plug, but in Solar Sales Master, we break it down for you guys to really understand it. But we also encourage everybody to do some research on it, understand it. But always your scapegoat is, make sure that they have an accountant to talk to manage their taxes. Because we don't know what goes on in every home. We know that.
Right. Yeah. No, that's always good to point to a higher authority. Not that we're trying to get out from under it or something like that, but for me, like you said, we don't talk policy. We know our lane. We stay in our lane and we point to the authority when it's kind of like, oh, you need to have that conversation over here. This is what I would do if I were you. And yeah, so that's a good fallback, and it's a good explanation that we don't have to know every single thing about every single thing.
Right. I would say if I could, like I think the average savings on like your standards like solar system, I think is like between $4,000 and $8,000 is what the tax credit takes off.
Okay.
But so if I was to toss you like a general average, but every system is going to be unique. So you're gonna see that, but do a lot of research on it, or we'll teach you how to do it for each job.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for being with us here, William. Any last parting thoughts you want to tell everybody before we wrap it up here?
Yeah. And again, thank you so much for having me. I'd say the biggest thing for us right now is we're super excited. We launched our EPC program, which allows organizations to come sell solar through us, so they don't have to have all the licensing and the staff to do so, and they can still benefit from all the profits. So I encourage you guys, if you are interested in selling solar of any capacity, or even just learning about it, we are a pretty open book. We're very transparent about it. We love to teach you guys new things. And for us, like me, especially coming from the roofing side, we wanted to do something where take an old thick blockhead like me that was set in my ways. I don't know, roofing solar's foolish, and if I could change it, I believe that you guys can, and your constituents can, and we can implement and really enjoy solar and profit on it as well.
Yeah, awesome. If anybody has questions, where can they reach out and reach you?
They can reach out to us. They can either reach out to us at our website, which is goproterra.com, or they can reach out to us via email, and that is info at goterracompanies.com. Anything like that will reach back out to us, especially if you're an entity. You can find us on Facebook and message us, and then someone from our commercial sales team will help you and walk you through the process.
Very good, William. Well, thank you for being a guest. It's always been a very hot topic that I've always been interested in, so I really appreciate getting to talk to an expert like you, and I know our group will also appreciate this chat. And if you guys have questions, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, post your questions in the comments down below. We'll get back to you, and I'll rope in William with any answers you need from him. But yeah, if you need anything from me here at Alena Estimate Mastery, be sure to check us out, of course, Facebook, YouTube, the TikToks and the Instagrams, and then also if you have any questions, email us at info@estimatemastery.com to find out what we offer for contractors for Xactimate and supplement training. So thanks for being with us here today, William, and for everyone that showed up live. We really appreciate you. And we'll get this wrapped up. It'll also be as a podcast. So if you're watching live and you missed the beginning, we'll be re-releasing this as a podcast very soon. So be on the lookout for that as well. Any parting thoughts, William?
No, I'm excited. And anyone that came on our side that's interested in jumping into the roofing industry or doing any insurance work, this is the baddest on the planet. So find your way into Estimate Mastery, get linked up, and go make that 25% increase that you dang well know you deserve.
That's right. Amen, brother. All right. We'll see everybody around the bend. And
thanks so much for having me.
All right. Take care.